Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm a Social Security disability attorney, and today I'd like to talk to you about continuing disability reviews, sometimes called CDRs. And this is where Social Security sends you a letter saying that we're going to terminate your benefits because it appears that you have medically improved and you're able to go back to work. And what triggers these CDRs is really kind of an unknown. I think there's a number of factors that I see in the cases that I'm exposed to, and that would be younger individuals, people who are in their 20s or 30s or even 40s. There's a presumption that those folks are more likely to see reviews. Medical conditions that may be on their face are ones that could improve over time. For example, if you have a bulging disc and you're approved based on that, bulging discs sometimes will repair themselves to the point where you can go back to work. There may be a random element to it, or there may be some sort of a secret list that Social Security has that when your case is approved, that somebody at Social Security marks it as being one likely to be reviewed. There's no definitive answer to that. I do know that some disability cases, when they're approved, are put on a 3-year review calendar, and those are more likely to be reviewed as opposed to a 5 or a 7-year review calendar. So there's any number of factors, but I think that bottom line is that my guess would be it's more having to do with the medical condition and ones that are based on their experience or based on some statistics more likely to be to show medical improvement, and those are the cases that are going to be reviewed. So if you are reviewed, what's going to happen is you're going to get a letter from Social Security saying in boilerplate language, we've looked at your file and we believe that you have improved to the point where you are able to return to work. And if you want to appeal it, you've got to file an appeal. And the letter will also say if you want to continue receiving benefits while this appeal is going forward, you need to let us know within 10 days. So a couple things to be aware of. First of all, when you do appeal, you're going to file a request for reconsideration. The form there, it's a little different form. It's called SSA 789U4. And realize that Social Security has a normal request for reconsideration on regular first-time claims. This form is very similar, but it's got a couple of different questions for reviews. I don't think it makes a huge difference. You can use the right or wrong reconsideration form or even no form at all, but given that Social Security is having a big personnel issue and that they've got fewer and fewer people, don't make their life difficult. To use the right form if you at all possibly can. Send it into the right place. Do it early. And then, of course, if you're denied at reconsideration, which you probably will be, you request a hearing and go forward with the hearing. And when you get to a hearing, the same issues that arise in a regular case, normal first-time case, would be, has your medical condition left you without the capacity for competitive work in any type of job? And that's the issue that you're going to be dealing with. And I think we've gone through in other videos kind of the way to approach these different hearings, but bottom line is it's about your work capacity. Now, I mentioned before that one of the interesting things about these continuing review letters and termination notices is that they also tell you that if you want to have benefits continue, you've got to let us know, let Social Security know within 10 days from your receipt of this letter. And 10 days in the Social Security world is a very short period of time, because that means they've got to receive your request for continuing benefits within 10 days. And that's 10 days after you receive it, so they're going to assume I think 5 days for mailing, and then 10 days to get the notice back. So really, within a couple of weeks of getting that notice, you've got to get your request that benefits continue. And of course, sometimes Social Security doesn't mail things out on time, which is, by the way, why I always want to keep every scrap of paper, envelope, and letter from Social Security. And then also, they don't tell you what form to use when you want to have your benefits continue. And I'll put an example of the type of form that I use in the notes here. You can really write it on a piece of paper that I want benefits to continue while my case is being evaluated. I don't think it's really important what form you use. You need to let them know. And what I would tell you is, if you want to have benefits continue, fax it in to them, hand deliver it to your Social Security office and get a file stamp copy that you've delivered it, mail it, return receipt requested, do all of the above. I mean, you want to send it in 5 different ways if you can, because you want to let them know you want benefits to continue. I've had people do all those things, yet Social Security says, we never receive your request that benefits continue, we're going to cut you off, and there's nothing you can really do about it. There's really no appeal to that. So you want to do everything you can to make sure they get the notice, and you try to have some sort of proof so that if they say they didn't get it and you can prove that they did receive it, then maybe you can argue, you can go to your congressperson, or you can try to argue with somebody at Social Security. I've never seen anyone have success with that, but again, it's better than not having anything. And certainly if you mail it in or send it in, hand deliver it 3 or 4 different ways, the odds that somebody's going to mark it properly go up. Now, the problem with having benefits continue is that on one hand, you're going to have benefits continue while this whole process is going on, but that means there'll be no past due benefits. So if you want to hire a lawyer, you got to pay the lawyer out of pocket. On the other hand, if you don't request that benefits continue, then from the day they cut you off until your hearing, which could be 2 years, back benefits will accrue. You can hire a lawyer based on the 25% of past due benefits with a cap of $6,000, which is what it is now. And an attorney like me would handle this the way I handle any other kind of Social Security disability case. But if you request that benefits continue, no past due benefits. So if you were to call me up, or an attorney like me up, and say, you know, I've been reviewed, my case has been set for termination, I requested that benefits continue, I filed an appeal, I'm going to say that's great, but you got to pay me. And given that I'm generating about $5,000 or $6,000 on all my cases because of the delays for new hearings, I'm going to ask for $3,000 or $4,000 at least on a continuing review, sometimes more. And that's just because the amount of work I've got to do is the same as any other case. I've got to prepare the case for hearing, request medical records, get functional capacity evaluations, do everything I've got to do to get the case ready. And obviously a lot of people who are on disability benefits making $1,500, $1,200, $1,300, they don't have $3,000 or $4,000 to pay a lawyer. So a lot of the calls I get, I'll explain to them, you know, I'm more than happy to help you, but you got to pay me and start making payments to me so we can be ready in 2 years when you get to a hearing. I'll get a thank you very much, I'll get back to you. So be aware, if you request that benefits continue, don't wait until the week before the hearing, say I need to get a lawyer, because that lawyer is going to say to you, you're going to have to pay me up front for my efforts. That's just unfortunately the way it is. So if you do have a termination case and you choose not to have benefits continue, you're going to go for 2 years without money. If you choose to have benefits continue, you're going to have to pay a lawyer, you know, several $1,000s to appear on your behalf at a hearing. A cynic would say that Social Security is doing this because they want to get more people showing up at these hearings without lawyers, because they know if you don't have a lawyer, your odds of winning are much less. I'm not so sure that that's true or not, but you draw your own conclusions, and leave me a comment if you think that's the case. So anyway, that's basically the bottom line about continuing disability reviews. We're seeing more and more of them. Social Security is putting more and more of their budget into doing that, so I think that's a priority for them. And I think they want to purge the rolls. And I think if they're looking for people who are younger or with certain medical conditions, that's exactly what they're doing. So just be aware of it. When you get approved, that does not mean you should stop going to the doctor. It means the contrary. You want to keep going to the doctor, continue to enlist your doctor's support for your disability case, and it's not over really until you hit retirement age. Although, generally speaking, people in their 50s and 60s don't get many of these reviews. So that's what I know about continuing disability reviews in 2018 and beyond. If you have any thoughts or questions, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. If you did like this video and found it useful, please give me a thumbs up on YouTube, like it on Facebook. Again, leave me a comment. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, like our Facebook page. A lot of new stuff there at all times. And go to my website at ssdanswers.com. You can download my free Secrets to Winning Disability Survival Kit. A lot of good information there. And if I can be of help to you, of course, reach out to me. So this is Jonathan Ginsberg, wishing you the best. Thanks a lot. Hi, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to know more about how to win your Social Security disability case, I'd like to invite you to download my Secrets to Getting Approved Early Survival Kit that I created just for people like you. Currently, I'm making the survival kit available at no cost, and I encourage you to grab your copy now. Some of the topics I cover include How do I know if I have a case? Is it the right time for me to file my claim? 9 common mistakes that can doom your case. The 3 must-have arguments you use to win your case. And a topic that every disability claimant wants to know, how to avoid trick questions from the judge. If you or a loved one need to win Social Security disability benefits, you'll find the Survival Kit essential reading. Download your Survival Kit right now and at no cost. Just visit ssdanswers.com/survival and sign up. It's that easy. Please act now. And as always, I wish you the best.